Hey everybody, it's Alexis with Create Your Future. I am back with a new video today on this beautiful Monday. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here for this video. And today I am talking about what to do if you are going through a difficult time. What to think, what to do, how to be, what is the answer, and then what are some actionable thoughts that you can think and ways to change your consciousness if you are going through a time where life is topsy-turvy or you're experiencing a lot, and if that has to do with your specific person. All right, before I get started, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, and say hi in my videos. Like I've been saying, it's been wonderful to see everyone's involvement. And you guys, I want to say, if this is you, if this topic speaks to you, if you're going through a difficult time, I've had a number of clients who have been going through the loss of a loved one, loss of a pet, change in career, business fluctuations, change with their specific person. And I've had it happen so often with clients recently that I think it's really worthwhile to address in a video. What do we do as conscious creators and master manifestors? What do we do and how do we think about ourselves when we are going through, like I've said in other videos, a dark night of the soul, or things are topsy-turvy, when there's a lot of things happening and you feel really overwhelmed? How the heck, right? Like literally, how the heck do we think new thoughts? How do we stay on our mental diet? How do we navigate through things happening? And what is the right perspective to take? Because it's a big question, right? The idea that you become a conscious creator and you're thinking thoughts so that your reality changes does not take you away from living in the human realm and in the 3D reality or the experience of being in a human body, that no longer exists, right? So let's talk about this. Now, the first thing I want to say is that you want to, if this speaks to you, is to not run away from and not avoid your emotions and not run away from and not hide your feelings, okay? Most of my videos are about romantic relationships and specific people. This could apply to anything in this video, so please just tailor it according to your situation and what you're personally going through. But if you're having things happen with your specific person or with the person that you're in a relationship with or anyone that you're in a relationship, and if you're pushing down the feelings, trying to run from yourself and trying to not feel them because you think you should be feeling it real and living in the end, my first advice is to stop doing that. Running from yourself, running from the emotions, trying to shift things quickly, trying to be someone different, get it to change, that doesn't get it to change. It just doesn't work, you guys. The thing about your mind is that what you resist persists. What you fight against actually nails it more into stone. So we want to really develop the habit of, when we're going through lots of change, things are happening, fluctuations in our experience, asking yourself very gently throughout the day, when your mind is spiraling, when you're overthinking, overanalyzing everything, you don't necessarily need to go right to affirmations. You can simply ask yourself, what do I need right now? What do I actually need to feel better? How can I think differently to feel better? Or what do I need? Sometimes thinking, what do I need, can actually get you an answer, and you take an action and you feel better. And then you're right back on track with thinking of things more purposely, more intently, and your self-esteem, confidence just naturally comes back into your body. Okay, so that's one trick right away. Asking yourself, what do I need right now? What do I actually need to do so that I feel better, right? And at the same time, allowing yourself major things like crying, venting out frustrations. You guys, the thing about being emotional and crying is it's your built-in mechanism for release. So I'm not saying to cry to people about everything and crying to your SP, but you want to give yourself perhaps private space to process emotions, cry, let it out, because then you get to the other side and it's no longer such a big deal. We don't want to think that we are consciously creating, we are changing and shifting our consciousness through thought, and therefore avoiding things that are painful by thinking, I'm not going to talk about it, I'm not going to experience it, I'm not going to feel it, I'm not going to cry about it. I've heard this a lot from clients who are going through things. The answer is, again, always being the bearer of just what I've seen work, is that we want to feel it fully. You want to feel things fully, cry them fully, allow yourself time and place to really experience major emotions. If you're going through the death of a loved one or the death of a pet, something is transpiring. If anything is just really, even if you're, like I have some clients who are going through the big D, the big divorce with a specific person, and then they're manifesting for someone who they really have always loved, or they're what looks like going through a divorce, but they really aren't because they're thinking of it differently, and that's their SP. Whatever it is to you, these are major occurrences, they're major things. And like I've told all these clients, you really want to feel it, experience it, feel it, experience it, move through it. We don't want a feeling change, thought change, just quickly try to deal with things. I would say that that would work for some people. For most people, there's no reason to do all of that. You actually avoid yourself, and you do something when you do that, which is self-reject. There are so many not hundreds, but many videos I've done about rejection and abandonment. If you have had a history of abandonment and rejection, then you want to know too that you probably tend to self-abandon and self-reject when things aren't going the way or when things are painful, and that you've also probably been taught to not feel your feelings, not express your feelings. Feelings aren't important. I want to tell you that they are, and the expression of feelings, letting them out, allowing it to be what it is just within you for you. It's not that I am saying for you to go cry to your specific person about why you're not together. You want to have this for you in privacy or for yourself, or just to feel it, experience it. That actually emotionally mature people who are emotionally evolved, they're not trying to resist and avoid the human emotions. They're authentically just allowing themselves to have it instead of compartmentalizing these things or trying to shift it. Okay. Neville Goddard wrote the book, The Feeling is the Secret, living in the end of the feeling being the secret, which is created with our thoughts. But it's not to say, and I really think Neville would agree, that you just want to trash emotions and trash feeling states. We want to move to the other feeling also as you do this. Now, usually when we cry, we release, we process, we do get to the feeling of living in the end. Isn't that crazy? It's actually part of us, because living in the end is living in the end of what you want. It's living in the end of, yes, I have this. Yes, it is not a huge deal. Yes, I have this. This is working for me. I have this thing. I have it. I have it. I have it. Okay. So that is tip number one. I have some notes written down. Asking yourself, what do I need right now? What do I need to stay on track with me? What do I need? What would really help me feel better? Sometimes if we're going through a lot of things happening, and I've had a lot of clients who aren't eating consistently, who are so overwrought with emotions of major ones, guilt and shame, anger, sadness, that they're not nourishing themselves, taking care of themselves, doing things like that. So you would be surprised that getting back to the foundational basic needs of you, eating, sleeping, drinking water, if you take supplements, whatever you believe to be true, that it really can help so many things. It's my opinion that your health is your wealth. Okay. If you share in that opinion, you want to make your mental health, stability, emotional wellness, emotional health of top priority. It will help everything that you're manifesting. We want this to be a full mind body approach, taking care of self in a brand new way, making yourself a priority, making yourself matter. The funny thing is that when you do these things for you and you matter, you're important, and you can begin to ask yourself and give yourself what you need, other people will too. Right? And that is then we unlearn to self-reject. We unlearn to self-abandon. We learn more consistently self-acceptance, self-love. That's really what self-love is in action, isn't it? Giving yourself what you need. Okay. So other ways to look at it are, how can I create support for myself right now? How can I create a nurturing environment? How can I create that when I wake up in the morning, I feel a sense of relief. I feel a sense of restfulness. I feel that I am starting my day on a note that is fulfilling and that is creating happiness for myself and really creating stability. If you have also, I want to say too, if you are creating for changes with your specific person and you are in the middle of the change, and they are changing, you're seeing it. We don't want to give in to highs and lows. Highs like excitement of oh, it's working. This is so great. This is working. And then the low of when it appears to stop. For most people that are manifesting with a specific person, the highs and the lows will get them out of the stability, which is where we need you to be. Stable and maintaining the same thoughts, stable, maintaining the same perspective, and not getting very caught up in what they're doing, and then what they're not doing in your 3D, right? As people change in your reality, what I've seen with myself and with clients over the years is that you see glimpses of the SP being one way. You see glimpses of the SP being another way. You see glimpses of the SP being one way. You see glimpses of the SP being another way. The answer to it is to maintain your sense of stability and focus, not getting overly excited when you see what you like and what you want, and then getting kind of thrown off and sad when you're seeing what you don't want. Okay. We want to say, oh, yes, this is all happening. It's all unfolding. It's all happening perfectly. I am maintaining my focus on the same thoughts, and it's all catching up. It's all coming together. That will get you through and over the rainbow through into that reality of your choosing. Okay. And then really, so bringing calm, stability, what can you, and asking yourself too, what can I do for myself to bring calm, stability, harmony, and consistency? If you are tending to see hot and cold behavior with your SP or ups and downs, it's all the same, hot and cold, ups and downs, breadcrumbs, etc. That's because you begin to think up and down about you. You begin to think up and down about your circumstance. You begin to think, oh, they were calling, now they're not calling. They were this, they were that. They were this, they were that. They blah, blah, blah. None of it matters, you guys. What matters is you being consistent and dependable with yourself so that therefore you can really live in that reality of your choosing. Now, this, I want to say, this does take refinement. It takes practice, and it takes being consistent with your state of being. This is all about your state of being. Who are you being? And knowing that your thoughts create the state. I'm saying it again. The thoughts create the state, which is your level of being, which is you're living in the end. It is the same. Now, the thing that I have gotten asked a lot, over the years and recently is, how do I live in the end? What is this thing about state, etc. The answer is that, you guys, your thoughts create the state. Even if, like I just said, how do I get into the state, right? You could think, I'm in the state. I'm feeling the state. The state is within me. I am living in the end properly and purposefully. And then as I say that, don't you begin to kind of feel like you're living in the end? The state does not just like come into your body and come into your feeling zone like it lands. No, your thoughts are happening so quickly in your mind that they do create everything. They are the answer to everything. But in this case, we want to use your thoughts to gently create stability, security, sense of safety, sense of okayness, and then everything else will follow. When you have so many things going on, like if there's a lot of goods and bads, lots of ups and downs, topsy-turvy, you feel like you're in the upside down land. Anyone seen Stranger Things? If you feel like once you began manifesting, then everything went sour. If you feel like once you began really learning this, everything kind of flipped on its head, you guys, that's a really good sign. It's really good news, because that means it's changing. For your reality to shift and change, most of us go through ups and downs. We go through a dark night of the soul. We go through a shift. We go through a change. It's part of being in the human experience, part of being in the human body. That is part of what you came here to do. It's part of what you knew you were going to do in the human body, the human experience, because that is unique to humans. Having the conscious awareness and the feelings, the whole thing going on, and then living on the earthly plane here in this universe. It's all happening consecutively, consistently, but it's your birthright to reclaim being in control of you, deciding what is happening, and thinking of things differently. Now, the question is always this, and this is how I look at things. If my thoughts create, and they do, how can I stay on top of my thoughts, think thoughts that I want, and how can I stay in the zone of the mind where I know I'm creating of my desire, I know I'm thinking of what I want, I know that I'm thinking from having it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So how do we really do that? It's maintaining a stable sense of self, sense of harmony within, sense of peace within, doing all the things, engaging in all the activities that might allow for that to happen. That's why hypnosis is so popular. That's why I studied hypnotherapy. Meditation is popular. Frankly, that's a lot of the reason why exercise is also popular as a self-help mechanism with endorphins, because it helps you feel like your mind is more stable. Okay. Now, the way to stability when you're going through dark times or a lot happening is the answer, and the solution is different for everyone. It's different for all clients, depending on what their situation is, how their mind works, and what they're going through. But these are basic principles that you can begin to ask yourself. Okay. And I'll tell you, I have had so many clients who are what I would consider a success story, but they haven't fully experienced the success story. So I am not talking about them specifically today in like a story. But if you feel like things are up and down, you're all over the place, then like, please know that in the people I talk to about manifesting relationships, you are not alone. I have so many people that I talk to who are in the middle of a major manifestation, who are in the middle of it finally coming together with their SP, and it looks like it's happening. It looks like it's not happening. It is, it isn't, right? The answer to stay in the place of your knowing, your state of being, your consciousness, and thinking this is happening. I am seeing this through. What do I need to maintain my stability? What do I need to maintain my level of stability and sameness, harmony, and security, so that therefore I can think thoughts purposely, right? This is an easy game to figure out when you think of it like that. It's like you're the root system, you are a tree. How can we keep the tree nourished, right? Now, there's 100 videos, right? I've done so many videos about thoughts creating, thoughts create your appearance changes, thoughts do create your weight, the image of yourself in your mind creates your body. Yes, but also if there are things that you believe in to help you, then remember that you can do it all. You can do your affirmations, you can take supplements, you can do meditation, you can do journaling, you can read books, you can educate yourself, right? Having a full-blown practice of self-awareness and self-help during these times is also very helpful. You just want to do things that help you, support you, and help you stay on track, right? Because that's so much of what this is about. But the other thing I wanted to talk about is that your state of being, living in the end, is your consciousness. So we are always trying to use your thoughts to influence your consciousness, which is your subconscious mind. It's all the same. Okay. But if there are so many things going on and you feel topsy-turvy and you feel, you know, pulled into this and pulled into that, there's that thing going on, there's this thing going on. If there are so many things and your mind feels overwhelmed, please think of the things I've talked about in this video, asking yourself what you need. And then also another thing that comes to mind for this is not giving in to all the things that come into your mind, like with your SP this and SP that, and they said this and they said that, and that happened and that happened. What am I going to say? What am I going to do? What am I going to affirm? What am I going to script? What am I going to visualize? You can also not give in to any of those ideas. They are just thoughts, they're boxes, they are aspects of the mind. And we can instead come back to, I am becoming non-reactive. Non-reactive as a person. I am thinking and being of what I want instead. I am doing things that create my stability, my security, nourishing myself, giving to myself, and this allows for everything to happen, okay? We often think that there are so many things to do and that all the action will help things, not necessarily. Action, though, is helpful sometimes when it helps things move along, but who you're being, how you're showing up, allows everything to dictate. So we want to create, again, that sense of stability, sense of safety, sense of harmony. And if you're questioning whether you can do this and whether it's possible, I want to remind everyone it's 100% possible. There is not a law or an idea that the laws of the mind work for one person or another, or there's some success stories, there aren't. If you did X, Y, and Z, then you would have it. None of that is true. You are the creator of your reality. Your reality is created by you. You are the basis of everything. How you are being, how you are thinking about you dictates how you think about your SP, how you think about another thing, how you think about another thing. So let's shift into harmony, balance, security right now. And then when you feel harmony, balance, security, getting back on track with what am I thinking? What am I affirming? Do it all, be it all, you guys. You can have it all. It's possible. All right. Well, I love you guys. I will see you in my next video and have an awesome week. Go out, celebrate yourself. Make this week awesome. Bye.